Well, thanks to our partners at 2 Degrees, a major shift is underway in how New Zealand stays connected, with 3G being phased out. 4G and 5G networks are now doing the heavy lifting, but the next step is already taking shape, with satellite-based mobile coverage on the horizon and the groundwork for 6G being laid globally. Well, I'm joined now by Chief Technology Officer for 2 Degrees, Stephen Kurzeja. Thank you very much for being with us this morning, Steve. So just first of all, 3G is on its way out. Why have we got to this point to say goodbye to 3G? Which seems like a long time ago, right, when 3G came out?
3G was here in the early 2000s, before the first smartphone was really launched, before the iPhone. So it was great for its mobile kind of basic connectivity, but it's not really suited for today's modern era. And importantly, the spectrum that's used for 3G can be repurposed into the 4G and 5G network, making it more reliable and better suited for customers. Okay, so most devices right now are either on the 4G and 5G, but now we're talking about 6G. Can you just explain what's kind of going on? Yeah, there's a lot of generations. So 3G shutting off, so we're shutting that off right now, but we do urge customers to check. So there are still 3G only handsets out there in New Zealand, a really small amount of them. So customers, and this is an industry thing, so it's not just 2 Degrees. You can text 3G to 550, and that'll tell you whether you've got a compatible phone or not. Some of it needs like a handset change, others as a setting change. So best to text that. For our business customers, they can log into a portal called Flex to check that. So really important, because that's happening over the next month or two, 3G shutting down, and that spectrum can then go into the newer networks. And 6G is what's coming next. It's kind of the next generation, which is probably still 10 years away. That's a long time. But what's coming next year is around satellite. So a really fascinating area. We've been investing in 5G on the ground, and we're just investing in our satellite technology now to have what would be ubiquitous connectivity around the country. Okay, and so how would that actually work? I mean, is it like a Starlink type thing, as opposed to being sort of ground-based? Yeah, that's right. So you can think of it like a cell tower in the sky. So Starlink's been great. It's been here for a while as a broadband service. So a dish on the ground connecting to a satellite in the sky, providing the equivalent of like a basic fibre service or a fixed wireless access. So that's been happening for a few years. What's changed is this concept of a direct, from your handset direct to a satellite. So an unmodified handset talking to a satellite 500 kilometres up in the sky. Wow. So at some point, the big cell towers that we see around the country and dotted around the streets, will they eventually just not exist? Could we get rid of them? Is that where we're going, maybe? Yeah, it's an interesting question, and that's what we've thought about for a long time as well. What is the future of this? But we see it as quite complementary. So you can't beat the laws of physics, really hard engineering problems to solve. So we've partnered with a company called AST Space Mobile that have launched these really big satellites up in the sky, the size of a tennis court, basically. So you've got a handset talking directly to a satellite, and we see it's complementary. So you still have your ground stations, you've got your satellites in the sky, that are serving like a cell tower in the sky. And we're in the middle of actually building this at the moment. So we're investing in a ground station in New Zealand that connects to the satellites in the Manawatu. That's something that we own and control. And we're hoping sort of mid next year we'll have a service launching, which will be data, voice and text, and really important around different use cases. So consider a lot of our industries like farmers and lone workers that go out to site that need connectivity and be able to use their normal apps to stay safe, mission critical networks, emergency scenarios, and many like that. Because there are still quite a few gaps, right? So this would provide a much more consistent, reliable system. Yeah, so typically we build our ground networks closer to population, and there are areas that we do in rural as well, obviously, but this will provide ubiquitous connectivity across the country, And yeah, we see it as a great solution. I think it'll be valued by a few people. Not everyone will probably want it. I know my kids, if I go out on a hike, may not want to be connected, but I think it's that safety blanket you have, and there are areas like search and rescue and others that would really value this service.
And is there going to be a chance for people to try this out for free?
Yeah, so we have a few things. So right now, this is the other part of what's changed in mobiles. You can get a thing called an eSIM, so it's really easy to trial a network. So on 2 Degrees, you can trial our network. Just search for 2 Degrees network trial. You can trial that and get 15 gigabytes of data today to try out our network. Rather than me talk about it, just try it. And then next year, when we launch satellites, there'll be similar things coming.
Hey, that's fantastic. Steve Kurzeja, our Chief Technology Officer from 2 Degrees. Really appreciate your insights and your time this morning on Herald
Thank you
Now.
for your time.